Hi, it's Lacey from Fayetteville Pelvic Health. I'm at home today and I'm going to do a quick post-run stretch. So if you need something after you go for a walk or a jog and you don't have a lot of time, follow along with me and we will get everything stretched out in a short period of time. So I like to start with a little bit of breathing. So standing with your feet parallel, hip width apart, you're going to inhale through your nose, arms coming up overhead, exhale, hands to heart, out through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale, hands to heart. One more time, inhale, exhale, bend the knees slightly, place your hands on the ground, step back into downward facing dog. Hips are reaching up towards the ceiling. Heels are pressing down to the mat. Lots of energy through your palms. Chest is reaching back towards your legs. And now we're going to walk our dogs. So bending and straightening each knee, alternating. Remember to breathe. Breathing is really important, especially after a run. Dropping to your knees, bringing your right leg forward. You're going to imagine that you have a tail. Tuck that tail under. Lean the smallest bit forward until you feel a stretch in that left hip or thigh, maybe even down to your knee. And then bring your left arm up. Make sure that your shoulder is not up in your ear. Drop that shoulder down. And you're not leaning way over for this. You're just reaching up just to lengthen the left side body and deepen that hip flexor stretch on the left. Good. Now bring both hands down to the floor or the ground or your mat. Walk that right foot forward slightly and pull your toes up towards your face. Notice that I'm trying to keep my back as lengthened as possible so I'm not hunching here. And my right leg is not perfectly straight. That's okay. My hamstrings are a little bit tight because I've been running more lately. Now, come back to hands and knees. Come up into downward facing dog. And drop back down. Now left foot comes forward. Right knee is on the ground. We're going to tuck that pelvis under. You can lean the littlest bit forward into your left leg. And now lift your right arm up towards the ceiling. I'm going to turn, you stay there. So this is as far as I'm going. And I'm not letting my shoulder creep up into my ear. Stretching out that hip flexor, bringing the hands down to the mat, walking the left leg forward, pulling the toes back, stretching out that hamstring. Remember to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, stepping back, one more downward facing dog. And now bending the knees, walking your hands towards your feet, keeping a little bit of a bend, but allowing yourself to hinge forward like a rag doll. Maybe nod your head, yes, maybe nod your head, no. Lifting the arms up, breathing out, hands to heart. Now grasp your hands behind your back, get a little chest stretch. Those pec muscles can get tight when we're running. And if we don't work on our posture in between runs, it can start to affect how our thoracic spine and our ribs move, which can impact everything, okay? Coming to a V, toes are pointing out. I'm going to hinge forward. I'm gonna walk my toes a little bit farther out, and I'm gonna shift towards the right. Inhale up, exhale, shift to the left. Inhale up, exhale right. Feeling it in those adductors. Inhale up, exhale. We're gonna go one more time to each side. And now if it feels good to you, you can hold each of these for a little bit longer, so you can pause the video and you can hang out here and then spend a little time in this wide fold, and then same thing on the other side. You can spend a little bit more time. Okay, now coming down onto our sits bones, we're going to sit in this kind of modified crisscross applesauce. So I have one foot on my right knee and the other under my left knee. So I'm more of kind of a triangle here than an actual totally crisscrossed. And I'm going to sit tall and just gently hinge forward. I'm going to show it to you from the side. Now this might be too challenging for some of you. Here it is from the side. I'm hinging and I'm hinging forward. My back is nice and straight. Now, if this is too much, you can modify with yoga blocks and kind of put yoga blocks under your feet and your knees, or you're gonna do figure 4 stretch. So for those of you doing this one, switch feet, lean forward, and just enjoy that hip stretch. If that's not available to you, come onto your back, cross left ankle over right knee, and pull. So figure 4 stretch. We're still getting our hips. This just takes a little more time because you have to get down on the floor. So if you're outside or still on the trail, not quite as convenient. But either way, you want to get those hips stretched. So I'll do it a couple of times on each side for this one because my hips tend to get a little bit tight. And now, regardless of where we are, we're going to, one more time, meet back into downward facing dog, rocking, or I guess walking our dog, not rocking our dog. Walk your hands back, inhale up, exhale hands to heart. And then the last one that I like to do, this is kind of an option, I will cross one leg over another, so my knees are fairly straight here and my weight is in the outside of my feet. And I'm gonna drop down into, let me show you from the side, into this kind of crisscross stretch. Now if you need a yoga block, that can be really helpful to have here if you don't have this motion available to you. But you're gonna feel it all along the outside of your lower legs. And then I will just switch. And the straighter I make my back, actually the deeper the stretch is. So if I cheat and hunch my back, I don't feel it quite as much. For me, the outside of my calves tend to get tight when I'm running, especially when my shoes start to get worn down, which mine are right now. So I just really like that outside leg stretch. So you can always finish inhaling up, exhale hands to heart, and that is sort of my quick post-run stretch. Obviously, if you have more time, more stretching can be really helpful and beneficial, but if you only have a few minutes like